Waterwight Book 1, Chapter 22. Where is he? Where's my brother? And what did you do, you witch? Blanche yelled, descending the stairs aggressively. She stopped in her tracks immediately when Ranger and Floyd sprang from the boat and advanced on her with curled lips, baring teeth in deep growls. Mac pulled her back up the steps. Now you listen to me, Celeste shot back, her green eyes glaring at the older girl, her black curls a mess around her shoulders. Weird things are happening, and some of us have changed. Yeah, I can fly, and fast, and some of the animals, like my friends here, can talk, and Bridger's only 5, but somehow he built this boat, and I really don't have time to explain everything, but you need to get off my case and let me get back out there. Nick could tell them about his own power if he wanted to, and she didn't plan to discuss any of the others whose power she suspected. She ran up the stairs and placed her hand on Teresa's arm. Teresa grasped her hand and smiled. Tell your doves to beware of the vulture. They'll understand. It followed us, and be ready to meet some new kids and animals, Celeste relayed to her. I'm leaving again and won't be back until I find our friends. Gracias, chica misteriosa, Teresa replied wordlessly. Ten cuidado and return soon. Celeste didn't know what it meant anymore to be careful. She turned her attention back to Blanche and Mac. Things are shaking out there in the plains beyond the village, and fissures are opening. I'm pretty sure that's where Chimney and Orville are. And the vulture up there, she pointed to the bird, it's wicked, and you need to keep it away from here. Whatever you do, do not touch it, because it can morph into different shapes, and I don't know how it does it. Now, bring the kids out. But Teresa's, Blanche started to protest. Now, Celeste demanded, and Mac ran into the house. She could hear him calling the children. Moments later, they emerged, and seeing Teresa sitting on the steps, scattered to either side of the porch. They stared at the strange boy with copper skin sitting in a boat in the yard. Come on down here, kids, and meet our new friends, Celeste called to the gawking group. They started to move, but stopped, realizing they'd have to pass the girl they were told was contagious. She's not contagious. She needs your help, and so do I. Maddie was the first to descend. She touched Teresa's shoulder with one finger as she passed, but pulled it away quickly. A look of fear flashed on her face. She ran to Celeste and whispered, I have to tell you something. Celeste beckoned her to follow and moved away from the others. One by one, the children walked past Teresa, doing as Maddie had done and touching her quickly before running over to meet the copper boy. When I touched her, everything turned fuzzy in my head and I couldn't see right or hear anything, Maddie whispered, holding back tears. And it's happened with other people too. Like when I touch Ryder, I can see everything, like things I can't normally see. And when I was holding Lena the other day, I knew what the others were going to say before they said anything. What's wrong with me? And what if Teresa is contagious? Maddie, you have a very special power, Celeste said. Lots of us have special powers now, and I know it's a little scary, but believe me, Teresa won't hurt you. I think when you touch people, you share who they are and what they're feeling, but only when you touch them. Does that make sense? No, but it sounds right. Are you sure I won't catch everything? I don't know what I'd do if I went blind. Maddie was still afraid. I'm not sure of anything, honestly, but I don't think you should be afraid of it. My powers are growing stronger, and yours might too. I need you to be a leader while I'm gone again. Come with me. Celeste returned to the children, who were questioning Bridger about the cat in his arms and the color of his skin. Where should I build Enie's house? Bridger asked Celeste. She'll be safe back in the gated yard, Celeste said, stroking Enie's fur. Jack, would you show Bridger the way? Thanks, love, Enie said softly. You go save your other friends now. Celeste wondered if she would ever see the cat again. She had done all she could for the gentle creature. Maddie remained while the other children followed Bridger and Jack to the back of the house where Celeste suspected Eenie soon would have her own little house. She turned her attention back to Blanche, who cowered behind Mac, her eyes on the vigilant dogs. Maddie and Ryder have chore lists and know what each can do. Some will help Teresa in the garden, and some will gather. You need them to bring in what Chimney used to find, and there's plenty just beyond the village on the hill. They shouldn't go any farther. Ranger and Floyd will stay with them, so they'll be safe. It will be so, Ranger said. Gosh, yes, Floyd agreed. The dogs retreated to her side and nuzzled against her. And Mac, she addressed the befuddled young man, make sure she doesn't interfere while I'm gone. They all knew who she was talking about. Mac just nodded. There was so much more she wanted to tell them, but feared Nick's power might be wearing off around the fissures. She turned to leave, but Nick stopped her. Take me back with you. I can make sure nothing moves. But Celeste had already considered taking him along. She wanted both his company and his power, but couldn't take him away from the village. You need to stay here in case the rumbling starts here, he finished her thought. I know. You won't find them near the fissure where I fell asleep. I called for them through the night, but find them, okay? And come back. He gave her an awkward hug and stepped back. The vulture watched as she grabbed the harness of the boat and lifted it from the ground, but it couldn't anticipate what came next. Mac ran down to watch with Nick as Celeste rose from the ground with the boat hanging beneath her. When she was just beyond the vulture's gaping beak, she twirled in the air and swung the boat in an arc around her, slamming it into the hissing bird and knocking it from the rooftop. Landing on the ground, it staggered to its feet and hobbled away, its right wing flapping unproductively until it was out of sight. Celeste let the boat drop. She wished she had thought to kill it before the children came out, but hoped her new display of strength would keep it away. If not, she'd take care of it when she returned. The others would be on their guard against it. She looked down at Nick and saw him smiling up at her. Moments later, she was over the vast field of fissures, wondering where to begin her search. The day was young. The vulture, wounded, hobbled south through the forest toward the overleader's house. That ends chapter 22 of book 1.